gladness, drive the dark of doubt away. Giver of immortal gladness, fill us with the light of day. O radość iskro Bogu, kniesie elizejskich pól, święta na Twym świętym progu, staje nasz natchniony gór. Jasność Twoja wszystko zaćmi, złączy, co rozdzielił los. Wszyscy ludzie będą braćmi, tam gdzie Twój przemówi głos.
Natolin Choir, thank you very much. Please take your seats again. Now, I would like to ask our host today, Madam Vice-Rector Ewa Ośniecka-Tamecka, to take the floor. Madam Vice-Rector.
Good afternoon, dear Rector Mogherini, dear professors, dear colleagues, dear friends of the college, both those who joined us in person and online, dear parents and grandparents, members of the families, and most importantly, dear students, students of the Madeleine Albright promotion. It is my great pleasure and honor to welcome all of you at the College of Europe in Natolin. Today we gather to celebrate a big moment and a joyful occasion that you have been working on for the last 10 months, dear students, your graduation. I am sure that families and friends of our graduates are sharing with us this joy. I know that your unwavering encouragement, love, and care have been instrumental in our students' success. I extend to you my heartfelt gratitude. Dear colleagues, thank you for your tireless efforts in guiding, mentoring, and inspiring our students. Your passion for education and commitment to excellence brought us today to this joyful moment. Thank you to all my colleagues from the staff for your everyday hard work, for your dedication to the common good, which is the College of Europe in Natolin. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Madam Vice-Rector. It is now my pleasure to invite Rector Federica Mogherini to deliver her graduation address. Madam Rector.
Thank you. It is a pleasure, also emotion, to see you today in this very special day, dear Eva. Even arranging the sun in a day when a storm was foreseen. Happened the same yesterday afternoon in Bruges, so probably the college is blessed with the weather. Some others were saying that it was a little bit of a scaramantic connection with the results of the football matches. Italy having lost the night before Bruges graduation day, Poland being out the night before the graduation day in Poland. Probably was the price to pay for good weather blessing us. If that is the case, let it be. Also because, as President Steinmeier yesterday told our graduates in Bruges, there will always be one of the football teams that you can support in support of one of your fellow students and friends in this summer. So as Europeans, we will have something to celebrate in any case. Jokes apart and weather apart, by the way, then I will stop on the weather and on the football. Don't complain ever about the weather here, because in Bruges it was 12 degrees this morning, so enjoy the sun and the summer. It is a special day. It is a special moment that I know is of mixed feelings. For sure, happiness, a feeling of accomplishment, of satisfaction, of emotion as you graduate, as you complete your achievements as graduates of the College of Europe today. But also, I know, a little note of nostalgia, of sadness, of also anxiety and wondering what will happen next. For sure, you will have some sleep, you will have some rest, hopefully also summer vacation. But then there is also something I have learned that goes under the category of post-college trauma. You will miss each other. You will, for once, find yourself alone, which is going to be very weird. And you will wonder whether you will manage to keep in touch with each other. If this story is true, that today is not the end of it, it's only the beginning of a new phase of being a college, part of the college family, part of the college community. It is real. Today, you finish your chapter as students of the College of Europe, but you start the new chapter that is going to last much longer. That is becoming alumni of the College of Europe. And I can share with you just one little anecdote that I think was impressive for me. That this year, just a few weeks ago, I welcomed in Bruges the group of alumni of the Mazzini promotion 50 years ago, gathering with their families, as they do every year in a different capital of the European countries, to get together and not only go through memories and share updates on their respective lives, but also discuss the European Union. In that case, it was the European elections and the perspectives for the integration of our continent, with exactly the same spirit that I'm sure has animated your conversations, your studies, your debates about the future of Europe, the present of Europe, and how you can contribute to the European integration project, as it is clearly indicated in our statute. This is what brings us here, not only studying, not only preparing for your future professional careers, but also how to contribute to this great project that is the European integration, either from within or from outside. So I know that, I know for sure that 50 years from now, 30 years from now, 10 years from now, hopefully also next year, you will come together. Will it be here in Natolin, elsewhere in Europe, or anywhere else in the world? You will keep this link, this bond that you have shared during this 10 months in Natolin, in this beautiful place that has been your house for this last year. But it is true that beyond this wonderful place, the world has been going through difficult and challenging times this last 10 months. A war that has continued, a war of aggression, a war of invasion from Russia against Ukraine that has continued this year for the second year, just a few hundred kilometers from here, from Natolin. A new war that has started this year in the Middle East. And some uncertainties on how the world will develop, geopolitical trends that go more and more towards confrontation, and a European landscape that is going to be reshaped with the new institutional cycle. And I think that this is one of the strengths of the College of Europe. You not only have the privilege of studying and living together in amazing contexts, like here, this beautiful place, but also keeping an eye and keeping a connection on what happens outside, and constantly trying to understand with a critical view, with a critical eye, how you can contribute to make Europe and the world a better place. And I think that you couldn't have had a better pattern to guide you through this year. That has been a very geopolitical year, a year where the European and American bond has been instrumental for many ways. and where it has been so evident that you cannot really indulge in the illusion that there is a safe space where you can lock up and not look at what happens beyond your courtyard. And I think that Madeleine Albright, your patron, that will continue to guide you as the patron of your promotion in the years to come, has been and will continue to be a source of inspiration and indeed a guide for these difficult times. And I normally don't use quotes, but you will allow me this time to make an exception. And this is a peculiar quote, because I will quote not one of their latest publications, and not even a book or an article, but a preface that she wrote to her autobiography, Madam Secretary, that I invite you to read if you have not done so, because it's an amazing story about not only herself, but 2 centuries somehow, or something that happened on the edge of the 2 centuries. And I would like to share with you a few lines of the preface that she wrote to Madam Secretary, that I think tell a lot about what kind of principles and values can also help you in these difficult times on the way ahead. And I quote, "We all have our stories. This is mine. It reflects the turbulence of the past century, the expanding and changing roles of women, and the clash between those around the world with faith in freedom and those who place power above human values. Many lives progress in a more or less predictable path, like water through a well-marked channel. My journey has been different. The idea that a daughter of Czechoslovakia, born shortly before the outbreak of global war, would one day become America's first woman Secretary of State, once could not have been imagined. It was almost as inconceivable that someone who had not held a government job until she was 39 years old and the mother of 3 would become the highest-ranking woman in American history. Well into adulthood, I was never supposed to be what I became. Honest, I have tried to be, even when it has been hard. As I move in these pages from private to public life, the phases may seem disconnected, but they are not. Each phase prepared me in some way for the next and influenced what I became. In talking to young women, I have often said that women's lives come in segments, dictated in part by biology. I've also said that this is actually an advantage, because it allows women to explore different paths. It is important, however, to have some guiding star. For me, that star has always been faith in the democratic promise that each person should be able to go as far as her or his talents will allow. It is the same faith that inspires the heroes I've met, the causes I have supported, and the millions of people I have seen, directly or indirectly, struggling each day to open the door of opportunity to others. I think that in these few lines, there is everything that you need to carry with you for being not only successful in your professional life, but also human and inspiring and bringing change in your personal lives, in your communities, as you have done probably during your 10 months in the college community. You will have the same kind of power, hopefully, in the communities you will be living in, working in, from tomorrow onwards. So this is my wish for you. This is also my hope for you, and I'm sure that the college experience has contributed to give you the tools to do so. To be honest, as Madeleine writes, always, even when it's not easy. To be among those that open doors of opportunity to others, because empowering others around you is the best way to bring about change. To have faith in democracy and its premises, and to have the courage to be what you are not supposed to become. To focus on not so much on what the others' expectations are, parents excluded, but to focus on what your dreams are telling you want to do. I believe that the college experience, I believe that this graduation gives you the instruments, the tools, the power to try and become what you are not necessarily supposed to become, but you have maybe found out during this year that is really what you want to do with your life. Be brave, be strong, count on each other, and I'm sure you will be who you will want to be. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Madam Rector. I believe both the melody and the artist we've just had the pleasure to hear brought some fresh and fond memories of our unforgettable Natolin graduation ball. The waltz from the Nights and Days, Noce I Dnie motion picture was masterfully performed by Mr Jakub Lubowicz, music director at the Roma Musical Theatre in Warsaw. Dear guests, dear students, it's been an intense, but I am sure also a highly rewarding year. And looking at you, beautiful and smart people, I want to make it absolutely clear. Dear Natolinians, we are so proud of you. Dear colleagues, could you please show the audience to those watching us remotely right now. This is the camera, and this is a good moment for you to let your families and friends watching us remotely know that you're here. You can tell them that you're here, you can make a sign, you can wave anyway to let them know that you're here and make sure that they are aware of your success. Great, thank you very much. Dear students, as we approach the conclusion of the academic year, it is now an opportune moment for us to recognize your outstanding academic achievements and diligent efforts. The Director of Studies, Professor Pascaline Winand, will now take the floor to award our end-of-year academic prizes. The first ones to be honored will be the 3 winners of the external master's thesis competitions and best students in each of the majors offered in European Interdisciplinary Studies program. Some of you will be asked to join us here on stage shortly, so please step onto the stage from the palace side and stay with us for a few moments to allow for a group photo before you leave the stage on the other side with your precious awards. I'm sure you can't wait to know the results, so without further ado, I would now like to give the floor to Professor Pascaline Winand, the Director of Studies at the European Interdisciplinary Studies Department. Professor.
So welcome to all of you here. It is my very great pleasure to announce the external prizes and best students of the European Interdisciplinary Studies Master's Program. But first I would like to tell you, and Kuba just said it, that I am very, very proud of you, and I am sure your parents and loved ones must also be very proud. And there are many of you in attendance today, so thank you for being with us in these beautiful surroundings. I'm sure you've come to love them as I have, over the days, day by day, in your many accomplishments at the College of Europe, Natolin. So this year has been marked by excellence, including your master's thesis, and I was privileged enough to be able to read quite a few of them. I very much enjoyed this task. This is one of the tasks I liked the best, I would have to say, at the college. And some of you have made a truly original contribution to research and to the world of policy. So I have no doubt that you will continue to excel and strive to make the world a better place through your creative insights. Now, this year was also marked by the attention you paid to your fellow students, by kindness, as one of your student representatives said. And I wanted to personally thank you for your commitment as responsible people attentive to the needs of others. This too is how we make the world a better place, as our rector said. So I very, very much enjoyed working with you this year. I will miss you greatly, and so I hope you will keep in touch, of course. And now finally, let me announce the winners of the external prizes, then the best students per major, and finally, suspense that comes right at the end, the winner of this year's promotion. So, number 1, the prize of the Dipartimento Affari Europei della Presidenza del Consiglio dei Ministri goes to Simone Cagliardo. So, as one of the best Italian students at the College of Europe. Yes. The first sets the tone. Okay, so this comes with a price of 1,000 euros. Uh, now, second, the UN Thesis Award for the best thesis on Europe, multilateralism, and the UN, with a thesis entitled EU Multilateral Diplomacy, Assessing European Union Engagement in UN Security Council Reform. The thesis was supervised by Professor Thomas Meyer-Harting. The prize is a 2 months paid internship, and the winner will be invited to present the thesis at the United Nations office in Brussels. So suspense. The prize goes to Mane Chaturian. So please come. Yes. And then the Jan Olaf Hausautor Memorial Prize for the Best Thesis on Transatlantic Affairs, written in the framework of the MATA program, is shared by 2 students. The prize is 500 euros. So who are these 2 mystery students? So one of the students wrote a thesis entitled US-EU Joint Development in Central Asia, a policy proposal on how and why there should be transatlantic cooperation on international development in Central Asia. The thesis was supervised by Professors Rico Isaacs, the College of Europe, and Christopher Miller, the Fletcher School. So this student is Genia Matisse. And now I told you it was a shared prize, so the other student who can't be with us today wrote a thesis entitled A Transatlantic Silicon Shield, Conceptualizing a US-EU Economic Security Strategy regarding Taiwan. The thesis was supervised by Professors Peter Chase and Francesca Giovannini. The student is Pau Alvarez Aragones. And now we'll announce the winners of the best students for each major. So the best student of the EU Public Affairs and Policies major is Olga Vok. And now the best student of the EU and the world major is Zoe Emma Banatvala.
It's okay, it's all good. It's not good. Just take a photo. Yeah, good.
Now the best student of the EU and its complex neighborhoods major is Simone Cagliardo. And now the best student of the European History and Civilization major is Flora Kotlinski.
Congratulations, we are getting more and more proud of you every minute. And now it's time to announce the winners of the awards of our Natolin academic chairs for the outstanding master's thesis in their respective fields. We shall start with the European Civilization chair and its chairholder, Professor Butterwick. The floor is yours.
Good afternoon, everyone. Here at the College of Europe in Natolin, we take the longer and the broader view of Europe. The European Civilization Chair encourages you to reimagine the future of Europe by exploring its past. Your historical courses this year have asked you to take the longer and the broader view. You have gone back centuries as you have traversed the globe. But history at Natolin means more than the historical courses in the academic program and more than the events organized by the chair. It even means more than the team I have the honor to represent, Professor George Mink, Professor Marek Cichocki, and Ms. Anna Banak, to whom I owe so much. History lies at the foundations of everything we do at Natolin. Why? First, every subject, however technical, however theoretical, is better understood when taking a longer and broader view. Everything can be considered in terms of continuity and change over time. So history is the perfect foundation for interdisciplinary studies. Next, each of us has brought our respective heritage or heritages to Natolin, even when some of us rebel against our national traditions. No lasting European idea can be built on foundations that exclude much of Europe's diverse heritage. And the European idea must respect the heritages of peoples across the planet, if it is to deserve respect. But Europeans can expect no respect from others if they have no respect for themselves. None of you should consider your heritage and your convictions beyond question or criticism. You came here to be challenged, but not to be insulted. Reasoned criticism of ideas should never descend into personal abuse. The study of history teaches us to respect arguments and evidence, to search out the sources, the data, the evidence, to sift it, deciding what is central to the problem at hand and what is peripheral, to assess its reliability, skeptically but not cynically, to weigh up conflicting explanations, to challenge orthodoxies and conventional pieties, old and new, but just occasionally to discover that they are well-founded, to construct explanations of our own, to express them clearly and persuasively, and to revise them in response to the questions of others. As Bronisław Geremek, the first holder of this chair, put it, il faut mettre des choses en doute, tout d'abord en posant le problème de l'histoire de la civilisation européenne. The skills of the historian, when practiced, will last you a lifetime. They can help you in any career or profession, except those which require blind obedience. Here at Natolin, your own patron de promotion, Madeleine Albright, once delivered a categorical message. Leaders need to study history. Again, why? We cannot begin to understand present and future crises and wars without delving into the past, unpicking the entangled roots of conflicts, not least the stories told about them. For memories of the past differ between nations, communities, generations, and individuals. And as we know, memories can be manipulated. Is it possible to reach a shared understanding of Europe's past, one that does not consign the less fortunate to oblivion? That is a question for you. Perhaps you have been provoked to find imaginative solutions to Europe's problems. Solutions that draw on your explorations of the shimmering treasures and the sobering lessons of European history and civilization. So history here is Historia pro futuro. Students of the Madeleine Albright promotion, when you stand on that lovely terrace behind the palace, facing the road to King Jan Sobieski's Wilanów, take in the view, the longer view and the broader view. It now gives me enormous pleasure to announce the joint winners of the European Civilization Chairs Award for the author of the best master's thesis on a historical subject. Two students wrote quite outstanding theses on contemporary history that displayed in full those qualities I spoke of earlier. So, in reverse alphabetical order, I ask you all to applaud first the author of the thesis titled L'Europe sociale et fracture de l'identité européenne, la question du travail détaché dans les relations franco-polonaises, le cas du plombier polonais, Flora Kotlinski. And now for an equally outstanding thesis titled Irish Becomes a Truly European Language, How Ireland's First Language Waited Almost Half a Century for EU Recognition. Please applaud Maeve Carolan.
Congratulations again. Thank you very much, Professor Butterwick. And now I would like to ask Professor Kataryna Wolczuk, chairholder of the European Neighbourhood Policy Chair, to join us on stage. Professor?
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to address you here, and good afternoon to our dear rector, vice-rector, to esteemed guests, staff and students. There are many places of learning across Europe and beyond, but some of them basically are influential out of the proportion of their size. We are fortunate to be in one of those places to study and to work. Natolin is remarkable not only what it represents, but what it also does. It is not the only place for widening horizons and deepening our understanding of the problems, however difficult they may be. And certainly our students make it actually work. As one visiting professor commented or explained, it's so great to teach here. The students ask such difficult questions. And I can certainly confirm this. But it's only not because we develop those insights and sort of delve into complexity and diversity of the past and present to work out what basically stimulates our hopes and plans for the future. But it's also because we bring together such a disparate mix of inquisitive people who come together in the spirits of learning and harmony. And it's so great to see how you cheer your fellow students when they win awards. But it's also, Natolin represents the place, Europe's ability to go beyond the immediate horizons of here and now. It allows us to think beyond the present. It has been once said that great people plant seeds in the shadows of which they will never sit. And we are fortunately enjoying a bit of shadow now, but certainly people here can feel how they benefit from the shadows planted by the people who never enjoyed those shadows themselves. And Natolin is a place for planting such seeds. And you are the seeds. And your very presence here is the evidence of our capacity to make the amends for the divisions of Europe, for the difficult past, and embracing the diversity understanding for working out a common future. And we know that it's not enough just to export ideas. We need to have a dialogue to discuss, to embrace the challenges in order to craft and work out the compromises about the future and beyond. This is especially important because for so many years we've congratulated ourselves on bringing peace and stability to Europe. And we thought we've basically arrived there. And alas, no, both in Europe and in the immediate southern neighborhood, there are countries which are in flame. And there was a person who perhaps summarizes the challenge that we embrace at Natolin. There was a famous Polish emigre intellectual called Józef Czapski, who once described how he went on a hiking trip on the border between France and Germany in the late 1970s. And while hiking, he met a group of very eager, enthusiastic students who said they were federalists, a group of federalists, and working out basically the future. And Józef Czapski asked, so what about the people behind the Iron Curtain? And the student said, oh, we didn't think about that. So Natolin is the place where we make amends for all kinds of gaps and omissions in all sorts of ways. This is why Natolin exists, and it is why you are here, so all your voices can be heard. And the fact that we can engage in such a sort of demanding task, in such a beautiful place, is a cherry on the cake. It's also highly symbolic, because the seeds have been planted many decades, if not centuries ago, but that immediate environment transcends the here and now and reminds us why we are here every time we step outside. You probably haven't noticed that every time we tend to step outside, we take a deep breath so we can have this sort of air and inspiration. And I would like to point out that within the European Neighbourhood Chair, with my colleagues, we specialize in the southern and eastern neighbourhood. And I would like to draw your attention to the fact that many students come from the countries many of which have been affected by wars, conflicts, political turmoils, and socio-economic upheavals at the very time they were engaging in studying, which is already difficult enough in its own right. And for those students, coming from those countries means coming and taking on academic pursuits while being affected in so many ways. And very often for those reasons, their families and friends cannot be here, cannot be with us. And yet, many of those students have excelled in so many ways, and it is truly inspiring when confronted with challenges and difficulties, those students deliver and excel. And this merits a particular recognition, in my view. And now, your time here draws to a close, and you'll be leaving with, sounds businesslike, valuable output, i.e. your prestigious diploma, and also very important outcomes. Beyond the diploma, what you are taking with you is perhaps what is more valuable, your renewed sense of purpose and energy, including some of you commented how they still get up every morning and think what they need to do next. An even greater appetite and urge for understanding and learning. It was such a pleasure to hear how excited many of you have been about your thesis. An immense sense of an appreciation and having tested yourself what it means to work in a busy place and deliver under pressure and tight deadlines. So being able to push yourself, but also know that you can deliver. And also a greater capacity for working with other inspiring personalities from fellow students and staff members, and being allowed yourself to be stimulated and inspired by others. So, on this almost penultimate day of the academic year, we wish you the fondest of farewells, confident that you represent the best of what Europe and its neighborhood countries have on offer, and mindful of the fact that you will capitalize on your knowledge, expertise, and drive for the greater good. Congratulations. Oh, yes. Sorry. I've been so watchful of the weather that the student is waiting. There is a chosen student, and I'm very, very pleased. While we can do it before the storm begins, I would like to announce the winner of the best master thesis related to the European neighbourhood policy. And the winner of this prize for the outstanding thesis is Melanie Toot, and for the thesis Enlightened, a feminist foreign policy in the making, the case of the EU and women and peace and security in Armenia. Congratulations.
Congratulations again. And lastly, it is time to announce the best student of the Madeleine Albright promotion at the College of Europe in Natolin. Professor Winand, please join us on stage once more.
Suspense, suspense. The best student of the Madeleine Albright promotion is Zoe Banat-Vala.
Zoe, please don't walk away yet. Thank you very much and congratulations to all the winners. May I now invite all those recognized today, together with Madam Rector Mogherini and Madam Vice-Rector Ośniecka-Tamecka, Professor Winand, Professor Butterwick, Professor Wolczuk, to take a family picture on the stage. Thank you very much once again. Congratulations once again. We can't be more proud of you, all of you. Thank you very much. And now, let us treat you one last time to a sentimental video, Journey through the past 10 months. Yeah, my eyes are sweating a little bit, but yeah, that was beautiful. Ladies and gentlemen, changing the topic a little bit, on the memorable morning of February the 24th, 2 years ago, we all woke up to a new and uncertain reality. Yet, what was certain over the past difficult 2 years was the unwavering support of the students and the staff of Natolin to those suffering from the illegal and brutal Russian aggression against Ukraine. As Madam Rector said, this war is happening now, as close as roughly 250 kilometers from here, right beyond the EU-Ukrainian border. It is also within the first weeks after the outbreak of this war that the We Natolinians for Ukrainians initiative was born. Ever since, Natolin's support was shown through bottom-up charity initiatives. And I would kindly ask Olha and Polina, two members of our Ukrainian student community, to join me and share with us the details of this year's engagement of Natolinians for Ukrainians. Olha, Polina.
Madam Rector, Pani Vice-Rector, dear professors, dear members of administration, dear colleagues, and dear guests. This was the third year of running We Natolinians for Ukrainians fundraiser. The initiative was founded by the Fogel-Polski promotion after the beginning of the full-scale Russian invasion of Ukraine. They raised an incredible sum for an orphanage of Ukrainian children in Poland. The following year, the Sasoli promotion helped the Hospitaliers Paramedics Battalion, making sure that the necessary paramedical equipment is provided by the professionals on the ground. As for us, we chose to support the medical sector in Ukraine and to raise money for portable medical equipment, such as defibrillators and ultrasound scanners. We had the honor to support Future for Ukraine, a charitable foundation started by brave Ukrainian women here in Poland. We started the fundraiser on the 25th of February with an exhibition of Ukrainian cities destroyed in this current war. We had the privilege to present it with the support of Professor Mink and a representative of the Ukrainian embassy, and we would like to thank Professor Mink for his help. Also this year, we had 3 thematic Ukrainian classes open to all interested and held a charity jewelry sale and sold drinks at the staff-student football match that happened yesterday. We are overjoyed to announce that we not only reached but surpassed our goal for the fundraiser. Out of the original goal of 10,000 zlotys, we reached over 11,000.
This fundraiser was the fruit of our joint effort, and together we would like to thank with all our hearts everybody who donated: friends, colleagues, professors, staff, alumni, parents, and a huge thank you separately to everybody in the administration who donated and spread the word, and to Kilian, Monika, and Rima, especially for their support and advice for the initiative.
This fundraiser began in February because we cared. It reached over 11,000 zlotys because you cared. And for us, it is quite obvious that the capacity to care for those that need support is universal and is not limited to any single country or people. So we urge you to be brave, to care for others around you, and always do the right thing.
And to conclude today, we would like to tell you once again, please do not forget about Ukraine. Time does go on, but our need for support does not grow any smaller.
We are extremely happy that we were together with you in this one small victory, which is not only ours, but also yours. Thank you, and Slava Ukraini.
Thank you, Olha, thank you, Polina. І пам'ятайте, будь ласка, що Натолінська громада завжди була, є і буде поруч з українцями. Ми з вами. Remember, please, that the Natolinian community will stand with Ukrainians. We are with you. And the Natolinian community will always be with each and every of its members. Do you remember the Veni Vidi Amici project that we told you about during the graduation ball? Yes, exactly. Wherever you go, whatever you do, we will be right here waiting for you. This place is and will always be your home. We are proud to share the joy of your success with you. That's why, let me now invite to the stage Joan de Lara, our alumnus from the Hannah Arendt promotion 2019-20. Joan is now a senior officer in DG Migrations, Asylum and Anti-Racism in the government of Catalonia. Joan, welcome back. It's good to see you. The floor is yours.
Dear Rector, dear Madam Vice-Rector, dear graduates, distinguished guests. Firstly, I would like to extend my gratitude again to the Vice-Rector, Madam Ewa Ośniecka-Tamecka, for this invitation, not only for the honor of delivering this speech at one of the finest educational institutions in Europe, but also because it's always a pleasure to come here, because honestly, I miss Natolin. So let me start with a story. It's short, be careful with the storm. And it's a story about goals and opportunities. Because if you have goals, you will have opportunities. I always had a passion for helping the vulnerable ones. So in 2015, when I finished my first studies in Barcelona, I was fortunate to start an internship at the Catalan Committee of the UNHCR. After this internship, I was hired by the Catalan Commission for Refugee Aid, the main NGO that provides help to refugees in Catalonia. Those were times of unexpected challenges. On the one hand, the EU, the European Union, was still recovering from the economic crisis of 2008, and on the other hand, it was dealing with an unexpected and unprecedented influx of people fleeing from the Syrian conflict. Well, in fact, this period reactivated that 90s debate about a potential European migration and asylum pact. During this formative experience, my role involved coordinating volunteers, finding housing, promoting language exchanges, and reporting on the situations at the EU borders. All those tasks were exhausting, but at the same time led to an immense personal growth and fulfillment. Later, when the situation stabilized, I began to question myself, my role in this field, and how I could make a greater impact. So I remember one day sitting at my office, and when finishing my work, Googling Master EU Affairs. It was love at first sight, the interdisciplinarity, the natural reserve, the student life. Everything about Natolin was impressive. This lucky discovery was the first step to coming here as a member of the Hannah Arendt promotion 2019-2020. So today, having the privilege of working on migration topics for my government, participating in debates on intercultural inclusion at the Council of Europe, and having the opportunity to collaborate with top-ranked European universities, I can confidently say that you, Natolinians, have made the right choice. Being a Natolinian means a lot of things, but one thing is certain. You may leave Natolin, but Natolin will always be with you. The knowledge and experience you have acquired here will always be with you. Now, as you're ending one journey and beginning a new one, please let me share with you 3 tips. First, when seeking your career, favor passion. If you love what you do, you will shine. Second, be kind to people. You never know what the future holds. And third, finally third, you have received a lot here, so now it's your turn to give. Share your knowledge, offer your support, and make a difference. Congratulations to the graduates, and long live Natolin.
John, thank you very much. And now, a short video message for our Natolin students from the student representatives in Bruges.
Dear Natolinians, congratulations, we've made it. Or at least you've made it, because this is a pre-recorded video, and here we're still struggling with exams. The closing ceremony is a key moment for all of us. Some of you brought your parents over, you're probably wearing your fanciest dresses and best styles. Well, you're hoping to get your diploma in a few days. Don't worry, you'll get it, I guess. Well, at least at some point.
Take a moment to reflect on how far you've come, what you achieved, and feel proud of yourself. It's by taking this step back that you can fully understand what we were told 10 months ago. Studying at the College of Europe is a life-changing experience. And I think that more than a change of life, we have truly evolved as people. We are now more open-minded, more open to the world, empathic, patient. And that's true. You don't come to the College of Europe only to learn about the European Union. You come to experience it. Et c'est ainsi que nous devenons les artisans de l'Europe de demain. We know that you all share these feelings. That's the beauty of the College of Europe. We live more than 1,000 kilometers away, and yet we know exactly what you've been through.
Reflecting on our year, one of the highlights for us was, without a doubt, the exchange between our 2 campuses. 40 of you came to Bruges, 40 of us visited Natolin, and I think it was really important to better grasp what is called l'esprit du collège. Vous vous êtes frotté au légendaire retard de train belge, vous avez goûté aux joies de notre cantine version week-end que la réputation précède, profité de nos matelas gonflables douillets, d'un jeu de piste, d'une visite guidée, d'une dégustation de bière, de la soirée interpromo avec les Sassoli, et tout ça cousu main. Bande de vénards.
On our side, the trip to Natolin was truly an amazing experience. Anatol told us that back in the days, the wealthiest people in Poland were building some bizarre things in their garden to impress their guests, such as the Greek temple, Roman-styled castle, and actually it really worked on us. From the reception with the Vice-Rector to the visit to Warsaw, the barbecue, and all the activities that were organized for us, we have lived truly an amazing experience. We were also amazed by the significance you place on art at Natolin, where each one of you actively contributes to the creative and cultural routine you've established. Quoi de mieux pour renforcer les liens que vous avez déjà si forts?
It would be a lie to say there is no competitive spirit between our 2 campuses. Our football teams played against each other, putting an end to the debate. Both teams won on their respective pitch with its own crowd.
So let's stop comparing.
Whether it's Bruges or
Natolin.
both experiences are great. It doesn't matter where. What's important is what you decide to do with it that makes the experience exceptional. If we are all a bit sad that this year is nearly finished, we have to keep in mind that the best is yet to come. Next year, our paths will probably cross in Brussels, Strasbourg or Luxembourg, and we'll create new memories.
Yeah, and know that wherever you go, in Europe or beyond, you'll always be part of the college family. Thank you again for everything that we shared, and best of luck for the future.
Bye!
Bye!
Thank you. So this was the message from Bruges. And now I would like to ask all our dear Natolin student representatives to join me on stage and Nour Ben Mefteh to speak on behalf of them. Nour, Anna, Anatol.
Hello, everyone. I would like to start by commenting the video we just saw from Bruges. I think we all also agree that we cannot carry on comparing because, after all, on ne peut pas comparer l'incomparable. Dear Rector, dear Madam Vice-Rector, dear professors, dear staff, honored guests and families, and dear students of the Madeleine Albright promotion. Dzień dobry. Well, to choose the correct way to frame these last words for today was no easy task. No goodbye is ever easy. Somehow, we ended up choosing, like some of the speakers that preceded us, like Professor Butterwick and Madam Rector, to start with a quote from our patron, or perhaps they got inspired by our draft. So we'll be quoting first Madeleine Albright when she said, "It took me quite some time to develop a voice. And now that I have it, I am not going to be silent." These were her words. To speak or not to speak, that is the question. Our promotion developed not just one voice, but many. This year, we have witnessed many events, and our promotion lived every single one of them to the fullest. On campus, we also faced many challenges, and each time, one of us chose to speak up in their own voice, always being heard, perhaps not always feeling listened to. For this, we believed it was important to underline the silence that sometimes speaks louder than the words. It is hard indeed to develop one voice when we all come with our own baggage. And 1 year is perhaps not enough to learn to speak as one. Yet, 1 year was enough to see the struggles of our colleagues. When you have colleagues with whom you lived for a year, going back to war, such as our colleagues from Ukraine, going back to conflict, to displacement, to fear, to prosecution, and sometimes not even having a home to go to. Is silence really an option? One might wonder. The future ahead of us indeed seems dreading. At most desperate moments, perhaps it even seems unlivable. Yet in Natolin, we learn to believe and hope. Hope that the sun will rise, as it did now. Hope that together we are more powerful. Hope that help will always be offered when one of us needs it, and hope that one day we will speak with one voice and make the change. Once we leave the gates of Natolin, trust to make the choices, decisions that are true to our shared values. Even the mic agrees with me that it is challenging. Following one's values, indeed, is not always easy, but it is always necessary. It is what we hold most preciously to stay true to who we are. We are all thinking of this as the end, or perhaps we are avoiding to even think about it. It is indeed difficult to say goodbye after such a life-changing experience. However, it is the end of our chapter and the start of another one. In fact, the Jacques Delors promotion will be the aim of Natolin, the legacy behind us tomorrow, one we shaped all year long, including the cuts I had in my speech. But the way we decide to write what's coming next in our lives, each one of us, will be the legacy we leave, and one on which we'll be judged in the future, perhaps by students who will sit in our very seats. Indeed, we acquired important knowledge this year, yet it will be never complete. Action contribute to the real change. We chose to end our word with words of Victor Hugo when he said, "Il vient une heure où protester ne suffit plus. Après la philosophie, il faut l'action. But if my colleagues allow me to abuse our decision, to thank them for standing with me for all year long, because without Anna and Anatole, I wouldn't be able to stand here today. So thank you both for everything. And thank you all. Dziękuję."
And thank you, Nour, also for your beautiful work.
Thank you very much, Anna, Anatol, Nour. Dziękuję, merci, shukran. And now, I have the pleasure to ask the Vice-Rector of the College of Europe, Mrs. Ewa Ośniecka-Tamecka, to deliver her farewell address. Madam Vice-Rector.
As Nour said, it is not so easy to say goodbye, but it is also not so easy to speak after such a beautiful speech given by our student reps. Really, it was very touching. But I have to say, and I want to say something at the end to you, dear students. First of all, congratulations. As I look out at you, today I am filled with great satisfaction. Your journey to this point has been marked by dedication, resilience, and pursuit of excellence. You have navigated rigorous academic challenges, engaged in vibrant discussions, and immersed yourselves in a rich cultural experience. I believe your ship is now ready to sail. Now, as this chapter of your life is ending, a new one is about to begin. No matter if you are aspiring to serve others through diplomacy, academia, public or private sector, no matter if you are going to serve others in your home countries or beyond, no matter what your specialization is, be honest. Be honest in expressing your views and faithful when putting them into practice. Endorse what you believe. Endorse what you believe is truthful and honest, no matter how unpopular it is. I also quote today but one of the former Polish ministers, Władysław Bartoszewski, the former Polish Minister of Foreign Affairs, used to say, I quote, "It's worth being honest, although it doesn't always pay off. It pays off to be unhonest, but it isn't worth it." Dear students, do not fear to bring a different perspective or to seek change. It is true that bringing change and swimming against the tide is not easy or safe. A ship is safe in the harbor, but that is not what ships are for. Sail forth with courage, for the world awaits your impact. Thank you. Good luck.
Bravo, Mr. Jakub Lubowicz, music director of the Roma Musical Theatre in Warsaw, and his outstanding performance of John Lennon's iconic Imagine. Ladies and gentlemen, please now join me in giving a warm welcome to the Natolin Choir as they take the stage to provide the closing performance for this ceremony. Their captivating voices will symbolize the unity and talent within our Natolin community. Please put your hands together for the Natolin Choir.
Good afternoon, dear guests. The next song we'll be performing is a Georgian old folk song, Trelo Pepela. It's a song about beautiful butterflies and summertime, and we feel like it's very fitting because after 10 months at Natolin, we're all ready to fly off and be beautiful butterflies, making positive change in our countries, in Europe, and beyond. Thank you.
Good afternoon. The next song is going to be a third triple reference to the College of Europe life. First of all, about Europeanness, because of the very multinational career of the componist, Orlando di Lasso, also known as Roland de Lasso. I mean, he has a lot of names because he spoke a lot of languages. May it be German, Italian, French, and so on and so forth. Second reference about the student life. This is a drinking song. It's a Renaissance one, and the best drinking songs have been composed in this time period, believe me. And the third one is a reference to the Bruges campus, the sister campus, because of, I mean, it is a Franco-Flemish polyphony, and it is absolutely wonderful. Thank you very much. Composed in 1570, sorry.
I'll maybe add that we are accompanied by the master of the lute, Wojciech Chomicz. No, that's the real Renaissance instrument from the Renaissance times. Yeah, so you can enjoy now the plenty of the strings. How many strings? 19 strings.
Good evening, dear audience. The next song will be special. It was originally performed in French in 1966 and then translated in 1967 to Polish and performed by one of our finest singers, Czesław Niemen. The anthem of Polish football fans. The special song about our city, about our hometown for the past year, with wishes of lot of delights and quick return. Dream of Warsaw, sen o Warszawie.
All right. Our last song, I Lived, was written in 2014 by the band formed in Colorado, One Republic, for the band's frontman, Ryan Tedder's 4-year-old son. In an interview with People magazine, he said the whole idea, to quote the late, great Robin Williams from Dead Poets Society, is very much carpe diem, seize the day. Tedder continued on saying that it's absolutely universal and applicable to everybody. I think it's safe to say that we not only lived, but we also experienced many things during our year, or semester in my case, here at Natolin. We've had a plethora of adventures together on our campus in Warsaw, throughout Poland, and also across Europe. Many trips were taken to LuxMed, several ankles were twisted, a couple knees had various issues, even a bone or two were broken. Hearts were also broken, though mostly by the many essays we had to write, the projects we had to put together, and of course the master's thesis deadline. Regarding the limits, with every broken bone, I swear I lived, Tedder said, so for every day that you're on this earth, for every minute that you have, the whole idea of doing nothing less than exactly what you feel like you're supposed to do, and squeezing every last drop out of life every day, regardless of the difficulties or trials that you face. And indeed, we did exactly what we were supposed to do, most of the time. We faced the difficulties, the injuries were healed, the hearts were mended, and the deadlines were met, or will be met in September. And most importantly, we all lived. So without further ado, I lived by One Republic.
Oh, when you take that jump, you don't fear the fall. Hope when the water rises, you'll build a wall. Hope when the cross rings out, they're screaming your name.
Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Natolin Choir. Finally, I would like to say that I believe the entire Natolin faculty and staff share feelings probably very similar to yours, so somewhat bittersweet. Joy, nostalgia, relief following the exams, because believe it or not, we're also glad it's over. We now realize again that we have been there with you every step of the way, ensuring your safe passage to this finish line. That is why I would like to request everyone to rise once more for a moment to acknowledge one another's efforts. Please join me in a round of wholehearted applause for the entire Natolin community that not only made this academic year possible, but also successful. Ladies and gentlemen, we all made it. Keep going. No, just kidding. This truly beautiful accent marks the end of our graduation ceremony. Let me invite students and staff to gather in front of the palace for the traditional Natolin graduation photo. And following the photo session, please join us for dinner at the back of the palace. Thank you, merci, dziękuję, and that's a wrap.
Imagine a place where nature and study intertwine, a learning environment with history written into its walls, an academic culture grounded in understanding and the pursuit of excellence, and home to a community forged of shared values and aspirations. Imagine a place where knowledge blossoms, tailored towards personal and professional development, nourished by the experiences and perspectives of many, and by the minds at its very heart. Imagine a wider perspective. Imagine Natolin.